Come, let us explore, ceasing to believe in bad karma, for it is harming you. Together let us relaxingly recite the root text of the 10th passage of Prahe Vajra's Vast Expanse of the Demon-like Mind. Don't worry, opaque though it may seem, we will then hit the commentary together. That which is the equality of all distinctions is erroneously conceived of by saying it is punitive karma. Were it really under the power of unalterable fate, the self-originated wisdom of letting go could not exist. And now let's see if we can shed some light on this. Yes, as we breathe in, the sympathetic nervous system could help us to perceive. Each specimen of the mental, the interpersonal, the physical, and the circumstantial as quite distinctive and quite different. Yet, as we breathe out, our parasympathetic nervous system could help us to experience each facet of the mental, the interpersonal, the physical, and the circumstantial. All of them a smacking of the same non-graspability, like the mercury from a broken thermometer beating and rolling across our fingertips. As non-graspable as a vast empty void, like the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which, although dazzling to the eye, could feel non-graspable to the hand. That which is the equality of all distinctions. Ever fond of victim-blaming, patriarchy is delighted to entice us to search for reasons why we do not get what we want, for as long as we want, if at all, and far too often endure that which we simply do not want. Whether we call it karma klesha, action and affliction, fate, divine retribution, or anvil of the gods, is erroneously conceived of by saying it is punitively karma. We persist in sticking with the words and ideas, that drive it. Let's see if we can shift this here. There we go. We persist in sticking with the words and ideas that drive it, ideas that push at ugliness and pull at beauty, forgetting that they are both merely sights. Push at discord and pull at harmony, forgetting they are both merely sounds. Push at pain and pull at pleasure, forgetting they are both merely sensations. Push at the disgusting and pull at the delicious, forgetting they are both merely flavors. Push at the foul and pull at the fragrant, forgetting they're both merely scents. Push at turmoil and pull at peace, forgetting they're both merely emotions. Push at hate and pull at love, forgetting they're both merely intentions. Push at dullness and pull at intelligence, forgetting they are both merely cognition. Push at the sorrowful and pull at the delightful, forgetting they're both merely recollections, as well as push at the grotesque and pull at the glorious, forgetting they are both merely imaginings. Both karma and fate infer a permanence, a rigidity, that hint at a lie, a deception. That change, relaxation, release, and letting go are absolute impossibilities. We're truly under the power of unalterable fate. The self-originated wisdom of letting go could not exist. How fortunate are we to be part of a species that has evolved to possess a parasympathetic nervous system, which places the wisdom of letting go within the threshold of each exhalation. That which is the equality of all distinctions is erroneously conceived of by saying it is punitive karma. Were it really under the power of unalterable fate, the self-originated wisdom of letting go could not exist. Come, let us harmonize with the natural mindfulness and meditation that are our birthright. Having completed our opening lesson, it's time for us to now shift gears. It is Obi-Wan Kenobi Wednesday evening. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi after approximately 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is the Dzogchen Sunday Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I have harnessed my autistic special interests as well as my ADHD hyperfocus to spend about 8 hours a day, almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each school of meditation so that I could become your personal, nerdy, neurodivergent guide to Nirvana. Welcome, my friends, to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. For the remainder of this evening's live stream, let's play with the latest iteration of very easy meditation practice text, or sadhana, if you're nasty. In days of yore, a phrase was coined, Buddha nature. We now describe it as our autonomic nervous system, which divides between our sympathetic nervous system and its parasympathetic counterpart. As we go through life, we have a choice. Do we compete against our Buddha nature, or do we cooperate with it? How do we actively compete against it? Simple. Think of it this way. When I was a kid, back in the 70s, I didn't understand the way you run a sprint for 100 yards is different than the way you run a 10K. And so when I tried to run a 10K, the way you run a sprint, I injured myself. Similarly, when we can actively focus and analyze for a little bit, but if we make that our default mode, we will exhaust our prefrontal cortex, present symptoms of depression, and trigger our amygdala, which is the seat of both anxiety and aggression. Sounds like bad news. Fortunately, neither our amygdala nor our prefrontal cortex constitute the entirety of our central nervous system. Case in point, every time we inhale, whether we know it or not, we have evolved to automatically access the sympathetic nervous system ensconced within the middle third of our spinal cord. This bad boy has evolved to help us to notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly. It has evolved to help us to notice perceptions, emotions, intentions, cognitions, recollections, and imaginings, where actively focusing might help us to choose what we experience. By passively noticing, we become vulnerable to all manner of phenomena, from the external to the internal, from the physical to the mental, from the pleasurable to the painful, from the interesting to the boring, from the glorious to the grotesque. Every time we exhale, we are wired to automatically access our parasympathetic nervous system, divided between the lower third and the upper third of that same spinal cord. This parasympathetic nervous system has evolved to support both physical relaxation as well as mental release, to such a degree that which we noticed during our previous inhalation could fleetingly feel less stressful, less permanent, and even less defining. That's great. But the key is, the only way we can cooperate with this sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system is to do so passively. How do we do that? Easy. We silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during each inhalation. And we silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb is during each exhalation. And so now, let us sit as comfortably and as sustainably as we can, while honoring our body's ever-changing limitations. The moment you have a specific question about Buddhist philosophy or meditation, do not hesitate to type your question in great detail in the chat window. For I tend to check for questions approximately every 20 minutes or so. You have taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 11 1/3 hours, I would very much like to return to lead tomorrow's morning meditation class, as well as group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.